You've clicked onto this video because you want to become a top content creator. What does it mean to be a top content creator? Is it contingent upon numbers? Do you only become a top content creator because you have 1 million subscribers, or is it something that starts in your mind and preparation? So I've had to think about 6 points that I've noticed in top content creators, and I really hope you're encouraged today. So stick around. The first thing is, top content creators have a clear reason or vision as to why they want to create content. I love encouraging people. So, whether or not I'm online, I would still be encouraging people. Also, are you a content creator as a hobby? Are you looking to monetize your content? Or are you a business owner who is creating content to drive people to your business? So I would say I'm the latter. I'm a business owner who is creating content to drive people to my business. So essentially, yes, I'm a business owner and I am a content creator. Do you see what I mean? And I love creating content. I really do. But something that I've seen over time is there has to be an aim to what you're doing. The creating process is fun, but there has to be an aim. Is this just to encourage or inspire? Or am I creating this video or this post to encourage people to buy one of my products or to sign up for my coaching or to sign up for the Harmony Framework for mums? Do you see what I mean? So you have to ask yourself these questions so that you're not just creating, because you don't want to just waste your time. You know what I mean? If it's just a hobby, you don't want to pressure yourself like you're doing a business. But if you're doing a business, you don't want to approach it as a hobby or you'll get hobby results. And that is something I've seen for myself. So I realize that at the end of the day, sometimes we don't want to feel salesy and make people think, oh, every time you click on a video, I'm telling you to buy something from me. But at the same time, if you never tell people what you have on offer, then they won't know, isn't it? So that's something to think about as you create content. What is the intention? What is the reason why I'm making this channel in the first place? What is the ultimate goal? Number two, they maintain their individuality. They understand there is a reason why people tap into their content. So this is the thing. A lot of what I say on my channel, if not everything, is not necessarily original or new. It's just that I'm saying it from my perspective. And that is why we're drawn to the people that we're drawn to. So this is the most interesting thing, right? There are certain people who we may watch for the news, certain people for art, for celebrity gossip, for a how-to, on life hacks, and we tap into these people. Why? Because we like their personality. But for some reason, when it comes to us, we tell ourselves, oh well, there's already 10 people doing it. But you have to remember, no, there's a reason why you tap into who you tap into. So just remember, even if you're saying the same thing as 20 other people before you have to remember you are unique. You look a certain way, you sound a certain way, and you have a certain experience. And that those experience and those skills, that is what you're bringing to the table. You're bringing your perspective and your personality. So just remember that you are unique. There's nobody else like you. Even if I had a twin, my twin wouldn't be like me. Down, even if we strip down to the core, we're still different. So remember, you are your selling point. You are the thing. You are the special, unique thing about your channel. Not in your fancy designs or your fancy lighting. It's your personality. Because I tell you, I have a very basic setup, but someone could have an amazing setup. But if their personality is boring or they don't really know what they're talking about, you'll just be like, okay. Do you see? So have a think about that as well. Remember that you are an individual and celebrate that. Number three, they are not controlled by trends. It's not to say you can't partake in trends, but people who are dictated by trends end up getting burnt out. And this is the thing. This is why on my channel, sometimes, I'll talk about a trending topic, but I might not necessarily talk about it when it's trending. Do you understand? Because if you're always chasing what's the new thing, what's the new thing, you will get burnt out because there's always some new thing. Even look at YouTube. Oh, shorts will hurt your channel. Shorts will help your channel. Make a 10-minute video, make a 5-minute video. There's always different information at different times. So you have to do what feels authentic to you. Yes, you have to look at what works, but you have to do what feels authentic to you no matter what. because that is what's going to make you stand out, and that is what is going to keep you going when times get tough. So, as I said, don't get burnt out always trying to chase, well, everybody's doing this, so I need to talk about this and I need to use this aesthetic because this aesthetic is trending right now. Yeah. All right. Number 4, they create content they are excited about. And that kind of leans into what I was just saying before. I'm excited about encouraging women and encouraging mums, especially in their home, in life, encouraging them to, work on themselves, do their personal development, learn to love themselves, learn practical tips on managing a home, decluttering, organizing, all these different types of things. That is where my passion is. As I said, if I wasn't doing it here in some format, shape, or form, I would be encouraging people. That's who I am. I have a hospitable spirit. I love that. I still love people, even though we know people can be trash, people can let you down. We've let people down too. But in spite of that, I still have a capacity and a certain level of patience for people. I'm still willing to let new people into my life. So when you realize you're gifted in a certain area, that is what you play into, that is what you use, and that is what will make you stand out and excited. Now, the fifth thing is they allow themselves to grow. Whether it's that they pivot and change their subjects or expand their team, they recognize that change is inevitable and something to be embraced. And this is key for me because I'm a person, I don't really like change too tough. And I guess a lot of us don't really, but a lot of times, even if you didn't want to change a certain area or a certain thing in your life, over time you see that, do you know what? This has been beneficial. It's like before we moved to Scotland, I started to go for a phase of, I don't think I want to move here. And then since living here, I see how we've grown closer as a couple, how we've developed as individuals in a lot of different ways. So sometimes the change, it may not be what you want, but it's what you need. Even another change for me was I had a channel before called Charlotte Amy Samuel. And what I realized is, and this is a bonus point as well, that if you're going to become a content creator, don't tell anyone about your channel. Just start the channel. And the reason why I say that, it's not necessarily about, moving in silence and don't tell anybody your business. Yes, there is a time to move in silence, but on a practical level, your family and friends are probably most likely not your demographic that you're going for with your content or your business. So sometimes people may just watch and think, oh, I'll give it a little minute view. Oh, let me just check it out. Oh, that's nice what they're doing. And what people don't realize sometimes is if people keep on watching a video for 1 minute and not finishing it or not commenting or not liking, that is sending a constant message to the algorithm that, hey, this channel is not really interesting or doing anything. So don't push it in the algorithm as much. And that is a real thing. And I think with my channel, and mistakes that I've made on my own part and hits and misses, either putting out too much content at one time or having long gaps between content, not having a clear vision or a clear emphasis on, hey, this is a direction that I'm going, this is what I'm doing. So with all that higgy haga, with all that information, it's like I don't think the algorithm really knew what to do with the channel. So sometimes I'd have some peaks, sometimes I've had some troughs. And I'm very grateful for all of the content that I've created. Go ahead and subscribe at Charlotte Amy Samuel. There's great videos there. But at the end of the day, I just had to realize I think this channel has received so much information over time that this is not consistent or exciting or interesting or holding people's attention, that it just didn't really go anywhere. And I started to see some results, but then I said, you know what? I recognize in my life, I think it's time for a pivot. So I said, I'm going to pivot and start a new channel and I'll see how things go with that. And after a few months of doing that, then I can make another change and say, do I want to continue, or is it time to take a long pause or try something else? But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we're quick to pivot or give up because things aren't exactly working out how we want to. And sometimes we haven't considered the fact that, maybe I've done certain things that have kind of hindered the success of my content, right? So, on this point, as I said, you allow yourself to grow. And a part of growth is change. It's inevitable, but it's needed. Your thoughts and ideas, you're not the same person that you used to be 10 years ago, hopefully. So it's not to say your whole personality goes through this massive change, but as you learn more about yourself and the world, who doesn't want to change, right? Now, number 6, they value their relationships outside of social media. And this is such a key point that, in all of our getting, it's very easy to neglect loved ones. And sometimes you are going to have seasons where you're more locked in, and then you come up for air and then you realize, oh, wow, I haven't spoken to such and such person in a little while. That's understandable. But at the end of the day, always maintain those relationships with those in real life, because social media is very, temperamental. One minute people love you, the other minute you say something that they don't agree with. Now you've lost 4,000 followers. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So if we're always constantly chasing the likes and the affirmation and all of that online, what do you do? Because sometimes you're going to have more views than others. That's the reality. And you'll end up in a prison because you're always chasing the next high. Oh, this picture only got 100,000 likes and this one got 50,000 likes. I failed. And someone else, if you get 50,000, you'll be like, wow. So instead of constantly always chasing the online, remember offline, you have a life to live, you have a spouse, you have a home to run, you have your children, friends, family. Those people matter too. They matter even more because they were here for you when you weren't this content creator or this influencer or this amazing business person. They've always been there, and they're the ones who are going to be there for you. So don't neglect the loved ones. Our verse of encouragement. And he has filled him with the Ruach Elohim in his wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in the cutting of stones to set them, and in carving of wood to make any manner of cunning work. And he has put in his heart that he may teach, both he and Alohav, the son of Achimaka. I don't know what I said there. It's Aki Kamak of the tribe of Dan. Them has he filled with wisdom of heart to work all manner of work, of the engraver and of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer in blue and in purple, in scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and those that devise cunning work. Exodus chapter 35, verse 31 to 35. And the reason why I chose this is because it speaks about the different skills, people working in gold, cutting stones, teaching. We all have different skills. We all have different abilities. We are all unique and all bring something special to the table. So the thing is, you already are a top content creator. You just have to tap into some of the technical things or practical things that will help your message to get out there. We're always growing, we're always learning. But show up. Be loud, be proud, be who you are. Continue to grow into who the Father wants you to be, and you can't go wrong. All right, then, ladies, thank you for watching. And while you are here, please remember to like and subscribe. Good luck on your journey. Bye.